Hello, everyone.
Hi, welcome back. Filled the gap.
Excellent. This episode this week is a little bit different to what we usually do.
Yes.
It's a little bit close to Michelle's heart.
It is.
Yep. So do you want to tell us a little bit more about this episode?
Yes. This episode, we're going to switch it up quite a bit. We're going to talk about a condition I have, which is called vaginismus. My friend, funnily once, named it MIDGET SNATCH syndrome. And that's just always stuck with me because I just find it hilarious. But I have here the proper definition of vaginismus if you haven't heard of it. Yes, this episode's about vaginas, but I do encourage you to keep listening because it will have a lot of information.
Yeah, and a lot of things that I didn't know or don't know, and you know, you're the only person I know that has this, well, that has said that they have this. Yeah. So it's it's going to be very interesting to learn.
It is. And I also just want to start off by saying a disclaimer. I'm not a doctor. I'm just sharing my personal journey and what I've heard from others. Please don't take my word for this.
Yes.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
If you do have symptoms or anything like that, go to your doctor and get professional help.
Yes. Vaginismus is the term used to describe recurrent or persistent involuntary tightening of muscles around the vagina whenever penetration is attempted. There's another one that I found in which involuntary muscles spasm interferes with intercourse. Now, this makes me laugh because it's not a bloody spasm. It's the worst feeling in the world. Yeah. I have had this ever since I first got my period when I was 13, and I noticed it because I could not use tampons. Yeah. I have only recently been able to put in a tampon, and that was 2 years ago, so when I was 24.
Wow.
So that's 11 years on a period. Well, not obviously consistent, but 11 years having your cycle and only being able to use pads was hell because
very hard.
Rashes, like you want, it's funny to say, you want your fanny to breathe and you can't with pads on all the time. Vaginismus is different for different people. It can be psychological, it can be physical. I know I've talked to people that have both. Mine was more psychological because I always was portrayed that sex was bad out of marriage. That's sort of where I've dialed my experience down to. Everyone's obviously different. Whatever you believe in, I respect that. But yeah, mine just came from the being brought up, being told that sex is only in a marriage and not outside of that.
Yeah. So you know people that have this as well?
Yeah. So I I started sharing this on TikTok when TikTok came out, and I started sharing small little snippets of videos of just like random things that would happen to me because of this, and so many, like those videos went viral. Like there'd be videos where I'd have 500,000 views, heaps of comments of people saying, oh my goodness, I have this too. And even when I shared it, I then had friends that followed me either on TikTok or socials, and they reached out to me saying that they have similar symptoms. And that is probably when I felt more encouraged to keep sharing it, because of the fact that you feel so alone with this sort of thing. I feel like it's only just recently started being talked about because it somewhat aligns with endometriosis, which you've probably heard of more than vaginismus. If you don't know, endometriosis is the tissue like the lining of your uterus when it grows outside your uterus. Can be extremely painful for people with that. And so sometimes it goes hand in hand, the two together.
Yeah, okay. Well, in what you've had chats and, talking to other people, I understand that everyone's pain level is different themselves, but is that the same kind of thing? Like, is there like a minor level, I should say?
Yeah, I guess so. I think now that I am more on the other side of it, the pain obviously isn't as bad, but it does really depend. If I'm becoming intimate, I have to be calm, relaxed. I have to be in the right mindset. if I'm stressed, if I'm not in the mood, anything like that, it will like my pelvic floor will tighten up and it will make it painful.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Quite a few people use dilators. That's how I trained. So with dilators, you get all different sizes, the smallest generally being the size of your pinky. And I was on that dilator for years and I could not even get that in because obviously that's kind of the same size to a small tampon, a mini tampon. And yeah, that was a struggle for me for years. And so my journey was seeing a pelvic floor physiotherapist, a gynecologist, and it just was ongoing for so many years.
Wow. With the pain that you feel, is it like a burning? Is it a stinging? How would you describe it?
Shards of glass.
Okay, yep.
It's like someone's put a champagne flute up your hoo-ha and it crushed it.
Wow.
Yep. It's excruciating.
Not nice.
No.
Wow.
It's a horrible feeling. That's why I laugh when a definition of vaginismus generally says it's muscle spasms because yes, if you want to define it as that, but I'm sure a man wrote that because it's not spasms, it's painful. I don't know if other people's vaginismus is different. Definitely could be. That's just my personal.
Yeah, it will be interesting to know if anyone out there, listening does experience it as well and could let us know because that would be, really good. Reach out.
My experience with doctors was horrible. I saw a doctor, I think when I was 18, 19, saying that I can't use tampons. I couldn't even think about having sex even if I wanted to. It was a male doctor, but I saw him because I saw him since I was a child. Like he knew who I was.
Yeah.
He told me to have a glass of wine before I have sex. He told me to just relax. That was the worst one. Just calm down and relax, and just keep trying. And it was like that's what made me disheartened because you can't tell someone with those things. Online, people said smoke a joint, like just get relaxed.
So try and relax the muscles.
Yeah, and it makes me laugh because that's just not possible.
So how did you go with pap smears? Do you get them? Do you?
I had one. I told her that was a pretty traumatic experience for me. I went and got a pap smear once, and I told her I had vaginismus, and she still went in, just straight in, didn't explain anything. When I say straight in, what are those things that they use?
Like little clamps to open you?
Yeah. So she just went in that. She didn't say, hey, I'm touching you now. That's why I enjoyed a pelvic floor physiotherapist because she said, can I touch you?
Yeah.
I'm about to touch you. And she walks you through every single step of the journey.
Yeah.
As opposed to someone who doesn't know what it is will just go straight in. And I remember my first pap smear and I was in tears because it felt like the worst thing ever. And she said, I'm not even in yet. I said, yeah, but I've got vaginismus. Like you have to understand this is the best you'll get.
Yeah, yeah. They need to know as well.
Yeah.
So you haven't had one since?
No, I don't think I have. I probably could now if I wanted to, because I'm learned how to handle it.
I think now they do. You can do it yourself at home.
Yes, that was another great thing I found, which is awesome because a lot of girls should be able to have the option to do it at home.
Yeah,
because you're in the comfort of your own home.
Yeah, you're relaxed.
You're not going to be relaxed when you've got a stranger doing it.
Yeah.
Actually, thinking of it now, I think I've had 2 pap smears and both of them were really bad experiences. Yeah. But one I hadn't had my period yet. I was just getting tested for something that was going on. And so I didn't know I had issues, but that was very painful. So, hey, that could have contributed to it.
Maybe.
I don't know. But
yeah. Is it a genetic thing? Do you know?
Not that I know of. I would say it's not. But honestly, like I said, I'm not a doctor. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. I just thought it might have. I don't know.
I don't know anyone in my family that has it.
Yeah, okay.
Everyone, all the females in my family that I've spoken to, they have all had no issues.
Yep.
Yeah. So no, I don't believe it is, but I definitely could be wrong. Yeah. Is were there any earlier signs for you? So if there's
you've mums out there that have young daughters, was there anything apart from, you know, you trying to put a tampon in, was there anything else that you felt like, were you sore? Were the cramps bad on your period? Were there anything?
It's always been interesting, my period, but it's not ever been, like, I get pain, but nothing out of the ordinary. I've been tested for endometriosis as much as you can without having the keyhole surgery. Yep. But yeah, nothing on the outskirts that feel different. It's just more so anything going inside, it will start to hurt. I noticed from tampons.
Yeah.
Because everyone told me how great tampons were, how easy they were, and I would spend hours trying to put it in and it just wouldn't work.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I mean, back when you got your first period, they didn't have those period undies that they do now.
Didn't. I know. They were a godsend when they came out.
Amazing, especially for young girls who are starting out. I think, where were they 20 years?
I know.
20 years ago.
Exactly. Yeah.
So with vaginismus, is that right? I'm going to get this wrong.
That's right.
Obviously, you've talked about, you know, there's ways that you can deal with it, and obviously there's not really a cure. It's just you training your muscles, you know, to be able to insert something. Yeah. How would things go with pregnancy and childbirth? I mean, I know you haven't had a child, but how would that be?
It does scare me, that side of it. They actually talk about vaginismus can be caused from the fear of pregnancy. So it is possible, but I don't know if it will be different with the fact of a baby coming out as opposed to going in.
Okay.
But also if you've had, I don't know, but if you've had sex, I guess to make a baby, you've made one.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You've relaxed a bit.
Yeah. So I think childbirth would be different. Also, there's obviously things like epidural and etc.
Yeah.
But I actually don't know.
Yeah, interesting.
It makes me think, like it makes me wonder, I wonder if it'll hurt coming out when I do have a child, but I don't know.
Well, maybe if we're still doing this in 5-10 years?
Oh gosh.
We'll recap.
Yeah.
Okay, and why do you share this?
I share this mostly to raise awareness of the situation, or of the condition, I guess you should say. Fun fact, the 15th of September is Vaginismus Awareness Day.
Oh,
yes.
Good.
I really enjoyed not feeling alone when I shared this, especially on TikTok, and like just talking to other girls all across the world that also had it, and also had same experiences with doctors. Was just really good to know that you're not the only one out there. I love sharing this with guys because, I mean, generally if they're mature enough, they'll listen, but just being able to explain it to them and being able to explain that, yes, you know, this is a bit, not prude, but this is a bit full on. Guys always talk about tight vaginas and how great tight vaginas are. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's great explaining this to them because sometimes a tight vagina may not be good for the girl. You have to, it's really important to make sure she's relaxed, make sure she's happy, make sure she's happy to go through rather than you just hurting her.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy talking about it with guys because it's giving them awareness that it's like, it's a thing that's out there that some girl may not be aware of, and you can't just go
shove it in.
Yeah. But yeah, I really do like sharing it just because most people haven't heard of it, and it's good to be able to help them, I guess.
Yeah, that's good. So 15th of September, that's a good date. We'll have to put a post up on that day.
Yeah, for sure. I think so.
Come back and listen to episode 9.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Are your periods worse? Like, do you have flare-ups or flare-downs or?
Mine are different. This is why I got tested for endo, because mine are super painful a week or two before my period. So mine's generally just after ovulation pain.
Yep.
Ovulation, that's when my pain happens. And it's like no feeling in your legs. It's like a draining of your body. And I don't know what it is. I've tend to dial it down to diet because, I mean, everything starts on your inside.
Yeah.
So I have a while ago, I did a healthy, like a 30 days healthy program, and I was sugar-free, dairy-free, gluten-free, And that was the month that I felt nothing in my period pain. So I know that it's dietary.
Yeah. It hasn't been linked to anything in your research that you found, or no?
I was seeing a gynecologist for a while, and I didn't really. I've seen a few gynecologists, and I didn't really like this particular one. She seemed to think that a way to test if I'd made any progress was put me on the green whistle. So I was on the green whistle, which was disgusting, just tastes like licorice. I was on that for a while, and I was just breathing on that while she tried to put a finger in, and I was just screaming. I felt so drunk from the green whistle, but I was just I was raising my body. I was not relaxed. I was just screaming in pain.
Made it worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was just not fun. So there's definitely a lot of bad experiences that I have had. Not with guys, girls, just more so with
Doctors.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Wouldn't recommend.
Yeah. Well, back on the period thing, it's not really vaginismus, but why do you always sync your periods with your friends?
Oh, I know, right? Yeah.
Like, I feel like
when I was with my previous partner, we had the same periods.
it was the same cycle. Oh, that would have been crazy in your house at that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, isn't it funny that you just, your bodies sync?
Why.
Yeah.
It is strange.
I think the more time you spend with someone.
I also hated talking about my period growing up. I called it time of month. Yeah.
Tom.
Yeah, time of month. And I know, and now there's a period branded sanitary product called Tom. Yeah,
That's cool.
But yeah, the word period just freaked me out. I just didn't like talking about it. It gave me the ick.
Oh.
Which is just, I don't know, just got to learn to talk about it more.
I suppose if you're younger as well, like you grow out of that and you can talk it with your friends and
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I feel like once you've given birth and you've had a child, everything's on display. You just talk about it all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. Well, anyone, if you've got any questions, I'm more than willing to answer them within reason. Please, if you know of anyone with this, if you want to talk, you're welcome to message me privately.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a very not talked about topic.
No, it's not at all.
And we need to get it out there.
Yeah, just because if you do have it, you're not alone.
That's it. Well, thank you for being so vulnerable on this episode.
Sorry, everyone.
No, it was good. I mean, I learnt more as well that I didn't actually know. Yeah. So it was, it's very good.
It's good fun. Well,
not for you.
But if you've made it this far, thanks for listening, everyone, about my midget snatch syndrome. And we hope you return next week.
Yeah. Oh, well, we'll see you for another week.
Episode. Yeah. Ciao, bitches.
Make good choices.